What if we were here not to fight what we think are the forces of evil, but to learn how to be unconditionally loving, learn to love more? What if that is really the purpose? We're going to talk about this today. This is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Welcome back, creators. I got a great, powerful lesson today. How to become more unconditionally loving. We talked about unconditional love, but I don't think we really understand it or embrace it the way that it is intended, right? Remember, if we are all connected, and we are, everything is energy, then the only answer, and I touched on this in a lot of lessons, to anything is, the only answer is unconditional love. The only appropriate response in any experience is unconditional love. If we are all connected, and we are, with that God consciousness, if we are all God, individualized, experiencing this duality, then the only appropriate response is love, unconditional love, right? And so let's talk about that a little bit. And I think, there's a lot of this superiority complex where we think we have to come into the world to fight world hunger, to fight the villains, right, who we think are villains. And the problem with that is we're using anger and hate to fight what we think is an injustice. And so we're fighting anger and hate with anger and hate. And this leads to just more anger and hate, right? But we feel righteous in doing it. We feel we're right, they're wrong. But guys, this is the whole idea. Unconditional love is the opposite of that. There is no judgment of right and wrong, of good and bad, right? So if you come in, so that you're wanting to do that is really just coming from a position of unworthiness. We're really here just to experience ourselves as unconditional love and to practice that and to be that. That's why we're here, right? If you do that, you don't need to fight things to change them, because once you change who you are, the world changes. We've talked about this in other ways. Transform yourself in the world from love, from a place of love and compassion. So what do we want to do? We want to focus on being. We get really caught up on the doing. We've got to help the poor. We've got to cure world hunger. We've got to make sure the villains don't take our benefits away and don't squash others. Guys, before we go and doing that with anger and hate and righteousness, focus on being the love that you claim that you want to spread, right? Where does all this come from? A lot of us want to come in, we think we come in the world to make a name for ourselves, to accomplish something, to be recognized by others that we're righteous, that we're worthy, right? We did something great, right? And we should be honored and looked at. Guys, that's not why we're here. That all comes from a sense of unworthiness. So you might think you don't have unworthiness. You may think, oh, I'm very confident I'm worthy because I've done this, this, and this. But that's the whole idea. If you have to flaunt that, if you have to talk about that, if you need that recognition, then that is the inherent definition of unworthiness. Why? Because you're already complete. Without doing anything in this world, you're already complete. Imagine if this is what we taught our kids, that their sense of self-worth, that they don't have to battle it out, and then they can just choose from an inspired state. The being inspires your doing. Imagine if our being from love inspired our doing, as opposed to feeling that we have to do something that's righteous, or do something that's recognized, or do something that changes the world, right? Whether you do something that affects hundreds of millions of people, or you do something that affects one person, it's all the same, because we're all connected. That one person is connected to the same divine matrix. So, guys, it's not about a need to make something of yourself. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past, how many mistakes you made. You are worthy just because of who you are. There's that higher self. Maybe in physicality you don't feel it, but there is that higher part of you that exists in this all internal now that's perfect. that no changes being made. We're here in physicality not to prove something, not to get a notch in our belt, not necessarily to be president so we think we can change the world, right? That all comes from some sense of unworthiness, that we need to prove something, that we need to be recognized, that we need to be loved from the outside. And we're already complete. If we can get this inside, then whatever we do is coming, whatever we do from then on, whether it is to be president or whether it is to help world hunger or help others, then it comes from a being place of being inspired, and then that works, right? It's not to get recognized for it. It's not because you want to have an impact in the world. You want to leave a legacy. You want to be remembered. It's because you know we're all connected. You know we never end. We're all eternal. So really, it's coming from an inspired place, right? Remember, you're a spiritual being having this temporary human existence. And whether you believe that or not doesn't matter, because it's true. So you don't have to believe it because it's true. All states exist in the eternal now. This is who you are. So guys, it's not about judging, condemning, or being superior to others and thinking that what your work is more important or that what you do is more important. No, it's all good. And even if you're not doing anything, it's good because you're already complete. Let your being inspire your doing. Not from trying to get recognized, not trying to prove something to others or the world, but let that being place, that from compassion and love, right? We're here just to express more compassion and more love. How wonderful is that? What other reason could there be? Because we come from love. We're made of love. That's why, guys, you got that hole inside. That's why you never feel safe. You never feel secure. You never feel worthy, totally worthy. You feel like you have to accomplish something else and do something else and do something else. And I got to do this and this and the next thing. It's because you already are complete. You don't need that. And once you get that in the inside, everything else is just inspired doing. Right? That's why we're here to love. You're lovers. Okay, guys, we'll talk more about this. Being before doing. Focus on that being of unconditional love, right? To any experience, anything that happens, unconditional love is the only appropriate answer. Imagine if we did this. That's how you change the world. You don't look at where it's cut us. All this fighting, all this. We keep thinking we're making progress, but we're just to what end? The only way is the inside, guys. It all starts from within. That's how you change the world. And remember, we're all connected. So never ever think that it doesn't count. It does, because we're all connected. When you're feeling loving, that's love of the whole. The holographic universe, the holographic divinity feels it as well. And that's powerful. Okay, guys, this is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Guys, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share and like the videos. That's how we get our message out. Until next time, with great love, this is Tom with Be Something Wonderful.